Before I started making these cutouts, I make paintings that are quite process-based, but I use process in a way to remove any temptation to design the image, because I'm quite aware that the languages that I'm using are quite illustrational, and I want to move those out of the realm of illustration and make them into something else. The silhouettes came about from originally because I look at a lot of bird field guides, and that my dad always had that hanging around when I was a kid, and I always used to copy it, and I became quite interested that you can describe something very simply, but it describes it almost perfectly. Something else that informs the work, which is black metal logos. I mean, there's a lot of indecipherable logos in black metal, which are kind of almost like a codified thing. They're kind of quite beautiful designs, so I kind of took that idea of, and they often use nature, they're black and white, so it kind of corresponds with the cutout.
I started working with paper, it's about 10 or 11 years ago. I mainly worked in collage before that, and then just decided to start cutting rather than collaging onto the paper, and then it kind of progressed into doing paper cuts. And then that's how I'm here today, really. This piece of work is called An Apocalypse of Butterflies, and it's about the fact that a lot of British butterflies suffered very badly in the summer we've just had, and I read an article saying that it was apocalyptical for butterflies, and I kind of like that idea of a group of butterflies might be called an apocalypse. And then also it was sort of about the idea of collecting in specimens, and when the gallery was formed in the kind of 18th, 19th century, that time when people were going off across the world discovering new things and bringing them back, and then also the pre-Raphaelites and how their nature is very important to their movement, and that's how I came with butterflies.
I was actually trained as a sculptor, and I used to work with steel, heavy-duty material, bronze casting for over a decade. And at one point, I thought I like so much to work with drawings, the simple technique, the purity and the honesty of pencil on paper, that I thought, oh, maybe I should focus on drawing a little bit more. Most of my work is site-specific, so when I saw this place here for the first time 9 months ago, I was trying to get an idea about the space and how do people approach the space, and we have the fact that we have two entrances really inspired me to come up with a very linear concept that's almost reflecting the process of entering a space and moving in the space.
Well, I started working with paper about 10 years ago. I was thinking one day, how could I create something very similar to xylography and etchings with painting? And so one day I started cutting paper, and cutting and painting paper. And then I thought that it was a very good way to express myself very directly. My friend told me that he loved a girl which loved very much dancer, and so we thought about cutting up a dancer from a Degas book. And then I started thinking about what I could cut from books, and so I thought about flowers, which are they used to be in real size in books. I used to do a lot of different works, okay, but this kind of work has traveled a lot around the world, because once the show is closed, you close the books, put them in your shelf like a library, and you can go.